Hello guys, welcome to a new video on Tower of God New World, and this is going to be a tier list update video. I made a few changes in the past days, obviously because there is a new system that's been introduced and new units, so there have been some changes. Not that many, but a few of them. So I think it makes sense to go over them in a video and give more information as to why I made those decisions. I think we can start immediately with the yellow element. There are just a couple of units here that saw a change. One of them is Eden. I moved him from A plus to S, and that's because one, he actually has a lot of uses. Even if you don't have a lot of dupes, like already starting from 3 green, you can use that guy. But obviously, the more dupes you have, the better. This guy can already be used against full ranged comps and high HP enemies. So really, really good. And the other reason why I moved him from A plus to S is because ranged units in general got a massive buff from this new system, the Revolution system. They got a 60, at least the SSR plus units, they got 60 attack speed more than before, which is like before they had 0, now they have 60 more. Not really 0 because you had like the ones that were given by the L set, but still Revolution system gives more attack speed than the L set. This is really insane, guys, and Eden is also benefiting a lot from it. So it definitely deserves the S spot now. It could even deserve S plus, but I don't have enough investment on him to like make this kind of decision. I have no idea. I will test him more. It might go up the ranks, but for now, S I think is a solid ranking for him. The second change was Shibisu. This was not really due to the Revolution system, but more because Shibisu already deserved that rank. It was just me, like I didn't put him in A before because I didn't test him enough. I didn't have a good ignition weapon set for supports. So I was like, I don't know if I can give him a high rank or not. I have to test him more because I already received input from other people that this guy was good in adventure. And I was like, yeah, but I haven't tested him, I have never used him, so I cannot be sure. But now I've been using him quite a bit, and I can absolutely say this guy deserves A, probably deserves a bit more, but A is solid. But this is only the case if you can give him really high resistances. Otherwise, it's just the usual useless Shibisu that we all know. Maybe for this guy, I can also show you guys one clear because I've been using him quite a lot, but I think there is one in particular that made a bit more sense than the others because all the other ones were basically just Hiwa annihilating the enemies, but I think this one should make a bit more sense. Let me see here. Because I think here Hiwa died midway, yeah, exactly, and then the rest of the guys finished the fight. Now here you will see that I gave him nothing basically, only this lot 4, sorry, upgraded so that he can get to 100% resistances. I think, no, probably didn't even reach 100% resistances, but really close. I gave him the Bergamot set, not because I needed the lifesteal, but because it's the set that I could get close to 100% resistances with. So I was like, yeah, let's give it to him. So yeah, it doesn't let me show you the total stats, unfortunately, but I think it was like 99.6% magic resistance and 96% physical resistance, something like that. So not 100% like yet, but close to it. And there's also Vespa. I think I also gave him, yeah, the effect here doesn't matter. I just wanted the 100% resistances. Also here I couldn't get to 100%. It was like 95-ish, something like that. So yeah, definitely there is room for improvement, but already quite solid. Now let's have a look at the replay so that you guys can see how Shibisu performs and why I decided to give him A. Because this guy has a ton of stuff in his kit. The main issue was that he was dying, basically. But now he's not. As you can see, that guy is barely taking damage. And then there is also Evan that's supporting with the special skill, obviously. Now everyone is focusing on my Hiwa. So yeah, well, Hiwa is dead. But here I decided, okay, let's not interrupt the fight. Let's keep it going. Because as you can see, targeting reduces defense by like 10% and resistances by 90%. So even if I only have like four pretty much useless units, they could still pull it off, as you can see, with the targeting from Shibisu. Like the amount of damage they can deal, even if they are like non-damage dealing units, is insane, as you can see, really, really huge. So I think this guy can provide so much value, like the 90% energy regen reduction, the um, the additional damage on the targeted unit. It can also help some ranged units focus the same unit as the rest of the team. That doesn't really apply to Hiwa because she has AoE special skill, but maybe like for Eden, it could focus one target until it's dead. The issue is that the target is quite random, is the lowest HP enemy, so it's not always as reliable or as useful, but that guy definitely has a ton of things in his kit, so really, really good. Now, enough for the yellow element. These were the only two changes. I could say like a Vespa could deserve an higher rank as well. Gray could, if you decide to invest in her exclusive equipment and give her resistances. She can definitely survive the first hit and get the fear here, but I'm not sure it's really that valuable. I mean, we already have enough good units here to be worth uh, upgrading into. You don't really need to use Gray, in my opinion. Hats could also survive, but he doesn't deal any damage. It doesn't really have a lot of utility in his kit, so yeah, quite of useless. Rack could be used, probably. I need to use him more, but could have some nice utility in his kit. I don't know. I will think about it, and maybe I will try it out a bit. But yeah, Compress Rack also got some good benefits out of this update, like the additional attack speed is definitely nice, and the additional accuracy helps. Just is not an SSR plus, so he's not getting 60 attack speed, only 30. So yeah, I don't know. For now, we'll leave him at S. I don't think this can push him to S plus, but who knows? We will see. So that was enough for the yellow element. Let's move on to the purple one. And in the purple element, there are a few changes. I moved Ghost from C plus to B just because if Machine starts getting used, and Machine is one of the units we're going to go over in a second, then this guy can definitely be more useful because you can make him a tank for sure, no problem. You can get any unit to 100% resistances. He would have part of his kit that's kind of useless because the additional magic resistance, if you're already pushing him to 100% resistance is base, is not as useful, but at least he can probably like survive a bit better against enemies that have magic resistance or reductions and stuff like that, because then he can buff himself up again. But I don't know. Like survivability should be fine. He's also going to get shields and heals from enemies' attack, so definitely solid from that point of view. The thing is that this guy has like magic resistance reduction in his kit, which is not bad. He has a provoke. It wouldn't be as reliable as Karaka probably, so I would still not use him, but I can see the case for him being viable at least. So yeah, I think putting him up to B is reasonable and can benefit at the moment only Mashini and Rachel. But okay, that's uh, that's my reasoning here. So yeah, I think B is well deserved for him, so it's fine. The next unit here that got an increase is Mashini from A plus to S, pretty much for the same reason as Eden. This unit got buffed a ton from Revolution, and the new unit, which is regular Leroro. The reason why I didn't mention Leroro in Eden's case as well is because Eden, yes, has great like basic attacks, but the damage is not really coming from there entirely. While Mashini has a skill that turns her basic attack in an AoE attack, which really it's already like increasing the coefficient of the basic attacks, and then she gets the multiplier on top from Leroro, which is huge. And then with the basic attack being AoE, She can reduce the energy of the enemies thanks to Leroro's buff, because whenever you hit an enemy with basic attacks, you decrease their energy. So really, really huge synergy there. Definitely, definitely a great unit to invest into. The thing is, for evolution to be a thing, you need 3 red for the ranged units, because that's when you unlock the third tier. That's where attack speed is. So yeah, quite high investment, but I would say still acceptable. Like getting an SSR plus to 3 red is something we can all aim for, so it's not too bad. I don't think she's going to be more impactful than a Viol, for example, so I would still prioritize him, but Mashani could become a really relevant unit. I don't think she deserves the spot as the worst SSR plus anymore. Well, she wasn't anyway because we have data work, but with like the second to last SSR plus unit, now she's definitely higher up in the ranks. So I think she could be worth investing into. I will definitely take her there after the next SSR Plus unit we get in this game. I'm going to take her to 3 red, pretty much. She's already 1 blue for me, so it shouldn't be too hard. And yeah, so she was the other change. Then we have Nare. I upgraded her from B to A because she has a lot of uses. I mean, she's a really solid support. She's not going to be better than Gustang or Kunagero in most scenarios, but she has her uses. She's good as an energy battery for your highest attack unit. You could then use her in a second purple team if you can make it work, if you have a machine invested. She can work in an Evankel team. She has some uses, and her kit is not bad. So overall, I think B was too little for her. I decided to bump her up to A. I think it makes more sense. And yeah, that was all also for the purple team. There are not many other impactful changes for the other units, so pretty much the same. Verdi, I think it's not good to leave Verdi to D for adventure. She has her uses. You can use her at times, but I don't know. Probably she could be C, C plus, maybe. But I don't know. I will think about it and I will try her a bit and see if I can get some wins in with her in the team, and then I will probably increase the rank. I'm not sure. Next, we have the red element. For the red element, the biggest change was Warion. I took her from, I think it was B plus to A plus, and that's because like she didn't really change with this update. The thing that changed is pretty much the same as Shibisu. I got better ignition weapons, and this unit like can benefit a ton from good ignition weapons, mainly because she can stay in the fight. She can provide her attack, crit rate increase against the highest attack enemy. She can provide the additional energy to the whole team whenever the highest attack enemy dies. More times, if she can stick in the fight, she can also provide shields and stuff. So not a bad unit. Absolutely not. So yeah, she definitely deserves an higher rank. Still, she would have probably deserved an higher rank already, even without the high resistances, just for the initial AoE energy to the whole team. So yeah, I think definitely she deserved it before, but now with like if you have a good ignition weapon set, she definitely deserves it more now. We can also have a look. I'm pretty sure you already saw the composition from my previous videos and is one of the most famous composition you can run Warion on, and that is Warion plus Michael, and then everyone is going to cast the special skill basically. That's the combo, and that's why she deserves A. This is not something that happens occasionally. This happens a lot of times. Like basically all the times you're running a red team, you have these 2 units. So she definitely deserves a minimum. So yeah, let's just have a quick look. Is the usual Warion Michael comp. She can also work with Vicente. Just Vicente is a bit slower. than Michael at killing, so your other units might die. As you can see now, everyone is already casting a special skill. For some reason, okay, she was provoked, so that makes sense that Evankel couldn't really um, cast the special move there. But okay, as you can see, everyone casted um, the special move immediately. She also survived the fight because she's quite tanky with good ignition weapons. So yeah, for me, that's definitely worth of the A plus rank for sure. Now, the next unit I also upgraded is Vicente from A to A plus, and that's because that unit, like, it doesn't really excel anywhere, but is really good against the hard, and I had him survive as the last alive unit a lot of times, and he also kind of won in those scenarios. So I think makes sense to bump him up a bit. I'm still using Michael more. That's why I didn't really decrease Michael's rank or anything. I still Michael is still better at assassinating enemies, like way better than Vicente, because Vicente is really too slow. Even if you give him a lot of swiftness, and I have a ton of swiftness on assassins. Like if we have a look here, okay, I don't have him in the fight yet, so let me see. Vicente. I have him with 81 swiftness, 81. And this guy is still really slow with the first hit. So even if you're running with Rihanna damage, which you probably don't want to do, but still, if you have a Rihanna with physical pierce and you want to use him, he's still going to be not quick enough for your Evankel to be around with a pierce set. So yeah, kind of off. And at times, if you're running in with damage, the enemy might hit you before you can, like before you can do the sword attack. So like he might even die before it can actually hit the enemy, which is kind of weird. So yeah, I don't really like him for assassinating that much for that reason. He's a bit too slow. Michael is way better. There are enemies that Michael cannot assassinate because they are too quick, they move too fast, and so by the time that Michael is teleported, he cannot really hit them anymore. So weird, but for most cases, for at least for the interaction you want to use him with Warion, so assassinating the highest attack enemy is most times good enough. So for me, Michael is better than Vicente at that job, but Vicente has more uses, is more versatile. So yeah, for that reason alone, I'm already like putting him from A to A plus. I don't I don't think he deserves the S tier, but yeah, definitely a really solid unit. And that was pretty much all for the red element as well. I think a Craptor could probably be pushed to S, but again, I don't have first-hand experience on it with him, so I cannot be sure. Like with this update, probably this guy is better than before, but I cannot tell by how much. And let's see. I mean, he's going to be definitely better because all his swiftness is going to turn into additional attack, but the attack speed can still apply, so he can attack faster. Definitely good. So yeah, probably deserves S, but I don't have him built, so I cannot really tell. If you have him built and you started using him recently, let me know. But yeah, I think for red, that's pretty much all. Viol obviously got buffed a ton, but it's not like there is S++. So he's still S plus for sure. He only got better. He's way stronger than before, but I cannot change his rank. That's it. So okay, now let's move on to blue. In blue, there are really not many changes overall. This element was already quite solid. The only thing that changed is Kunran. I moved him from A plus to S because this guy with a new set and with regular Leroro is really, really strong. I can also show a clear here, I think, where it did quite a bit of damage. There was no regular Leroro here, it was just the new set. So I think it was this one. Let me see here. Yeah, this one. I'm running him with the upgrade set, but all resistances, as you can see here. He still had like 40+% magic pierce, I'm pretty sure. So yeah, quite a ton of damage still, but he had high resistances and he was in a team with Escanor, blah blah blah, usual stuff. So you can see here, Urek got killed immediately. Kunran survived some ways from the burst, and then he got healed with a conceal. Pretty cool. And then he just keeps attacking, attacking, attacking. Nothing much really. And then he died, but it's fine. So you didn't really see much from this replay, but like in this amount of time that he was alive, and you saw was like 30 seconds, 35 maybe, he already managed to deal close to 30 billion damage, which is not a bad number for my like use case, and that was with resistances. Still, he cannot really survive that long, unfortunately, because he has a limited time for his damage reduction, but still, is definitely a good unit. With regular Aurora, he only gets better because he gets benefits from basic attacks and magic pierce. So huge. Yeah, I think he deserves the increase in rank for sure. Then we have, let me see, I think for blue that's pretty much all. I didn't change anything else. So yeah, I think we can move on to the next one. And here we also have the addition of regular Leroro and Yuri to talk about. But first, I think the first thing I changed was Misang from A plus to A, just because she can only do one job, and the higher deficit you push, the worse of a job she can do. She cannot really reliably kill Urek. I think the fight you just saw was the last one I could manage to get her to work. Basically, in the latest stages, I'm still fighting like Urex, but I cannot really kill him with Misang. He's always left with a tiny bit of HP. I might have to invest in the tier 1 revolution for Misang, but yeah, I don't know. To me, like she's becoming less and less valuable. And the thing is, even if you one-shot Urek, early on is fine. She still works perfectly fine at like floor 30, 40, whatever. But when you start pushing really high deficits and the enemies have really high damage potential, your Misang is going to kill Urek. Let's say she can kill him, but then Urek is going to kill your team with the passive. So as you saw there, my Kunran survived like by a very tiny margin. So yeah, if you have resistances on your other units, fine, they're not going to die. But like your main DPS, if you were using a ranged unit with no resistances whatsoever, that unit is gone for sure, unless you have evasion and that unit evades, whatever. There are always cases that you can work around with to make it work better, but still, she will like Urek will wipe most of your team if killed immediately. Like I cannot run a Misang in my yellow team because my team is going to die before Evan can even cast the special move. So I don't know. There are some restrictions, and for that reason, I was like, okay, let's just decrease her rank. I think it's safe to do so. Then I increased the rank of Rachel from A to A plus. That's because obviously she got buffed a ton from the Revolution system. She also works really well with regular Aurora, so she deserves it. She could even deserve the S rank in Adventure. I used her quite a bit. Her damage is solid. You just need to make her survive. So that's the main problem. If you can fix that, then she's a godlike unit, and the Revolution system only made her better. I will try to like I will try to work around her a bit more and see if she can also get rid of Urek, but I doubt it. So yeah, definitely solid unit. She could be better, but okay. Then we have the two new additions, regular Leroro and Yuri. I gave both of them the S rank. I think regular Leroro gets really, really good like Rainbow 5-ish, because the special move is not really too important, but it's definitely nice to have that ranged attack block or ranged attack immunity. There are some annoying ranged units in the like in the opposing teams, so definitely that's a huge plus if you can get it in immediately. So to me, that's worth it, the Rainbow 5. Without it, the thing is, this guy really needs high survivability. He also needs it with Rainbow 5, but at least you get rid of the issue of like ranged units killing you too quickly. But even even with the Rainbow 5, you still need to run him with a ton of resistances. This guy really needs the 95% plus resistances, hopefully cl as close as possible to 100%, because otherwise it's just dead meat. Unless you're running with like Escanor and units like that, that's fine. But in general, if you want to use him regularly, you need at least 95% resistances in both magic and physical, for him to survive long enough to provide value. Otherwise, just kind of that weight. So yeah, still, with this said, I think he deserves the S rank for sure. Regular Yuri is kind of really intense DPS unit. She can deal a ton of damage. A lot of units had success with her. A green already, I couldn't. Well, not that I tested her that much at green. I pushed her to 3 red almost immediately, but okay. So she can work well. She can at times kill annoying Urex and stuff. And yeah, I think it's definitely a great unit. She has a ton of burst. The thing is, with low investment, you probably want to run her with either an Evan or or an Escanor or some unit that can provide survivability for her to cast the special move, or you want to run her with 100% resistances or like 95% plus so that she can survive long enough to cast the special move but still take damage to increase the damage output. So yeah, I mean, low investment, I can see the case for her being A rank, I think. And with more investment, she can definitely be S tier, no question asked. I think she's really, really valuable there. So yeah, that's it for regular Yuri as well. Another increase that was a really minor one is Shane. I increased her from C to C plus just because she can actually survive with good ignition weapons, but her damage is, to me at least, almost non-existent. She's okay if you need a unit that stays there, takes damage, and do nothing. But yeah, I mean, I can see their case for her being used. So I'm like, okay, sure, let's increase her rank a bit. I don't think she deserves a B because I don't really think there are any scenarios where she can actually do something. But yeah, she can be used for sure. And the last increase is Shiliel. I increased her from B plus to A plus just because, like, I was really disappointed that she was a mage, so she had no evasion and she had an evasion related kit. But if we disregard that and we go all in on resistances, she can still provide huge value. If you play her in a full green team, she's going to have a ton of attack. So even without Pierce, she can still output quite a bit of damage and survive nicely. You're kind of giving up on part of the kit, like all the evasion increased stuff is gone, but whatever, is fine. And yeah, I would say if you also have her with low swiftness, you can run her with just Runda on an ally so that she can get the additional energy. And that should be enough to run this unit with Rayana and Pierce. The issue is once you have more swiftness on her, she's going to require BAM as well, which was my initial, um, like the initial thing I said, like you need to run her with BAM with Runda so that she can get enough energy to cast the special move as her first skill. But if you have low swiftness, she's going to take more time to cast the initial shield and move up to the enemies, etc. So she's going to have enough time to build up the additional energy with Runda. So that's also an option, I would say. If you have low swiftness, you can use her without BAM. If you have high swiftness, then you kind of have to use BAM as well. That's pretty much the case. I don't know exactly how much swiftness you would need or when it would exactly change, but yeah, just be aware. You will reach a point where you will have a lot of swiftness, and she needs to use BAM at that point for her to cast the special move first. But still, if you want to run her with resistances, really, really solid. If you're still at the point where you can use the evasion because you are in lower floors, you still haven't removed the evasion from the Trescent's int facility, then great, she's a good unit. So for that, I think she deserves the A plus rank. Nothing more than that, but A plus is still solid, I think. And this was the last change here. I don't think there is anything else to talk about. Yeah. Yes, guys. Okay, I think this video was already long enough, but yeah, as usual, like tier list updates are quite long. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed it. If you agree or disagree, let me know in the comments down below. And if you liked it, please drop a like and subscribe to my channel. I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.